Okay, after evaluating the game, we played well in all three phases. We weren't flawless, but we still played well, and I think our team is continuing to get a little bit better. Our young guys are more comfortable now. They feel as if the game is slowing down a little bit for them, and they understand what's expected of them, and each and every one of them are getting better. So now we're looking ahead to the next game.
The underdog has won more than the favorite in the last 10 years against UNC NC State. Do you know why that happens or what goes into that? Any take on that?
Oh, I'd say, I don't know why. But anything can happen in a rivalry game. It does. You can look across the country, and rivalry. That's what's one of the great things about rivalry games is you can throw records out the door and let guys. Guys are gonna battle, and it's always gonna be a heck of a game.
You mentioned how this is kind of your bowl game, or we talk about that on Saturday. Have you kind of set that as?
No, I didn't mention that. Somebody else in here mentioned that, and I said, okay, if you want to go with that, we can.
But are you using that as kind of like the theme of the week or something?
No.
Coach Papuchis preaches turnovers, but you finally got the touchdown on Saturday. What was it like to see Jonathan Smith?
Yeah, it was great. We go into every game expecting to get two or more of those, and it was big for John. Because John came in and we needed him to come in at that situation, and he made a play, and it was big for him and his confidence and the team's confidence in him, and just all the way around. So it was it's always good to score off of turnovers.
How did his knee injury just kind of affect his pace of development, Jonathan? Just kind of like how close is he kind of realizing the potential that he kind of had coming into the year?
Oh yeah, he's going to be a really good player. It did slow him down. That's just the nature of the beast. All these guys that have injuries this year, it's slowing down their development. Every rep that you miss, it's slowing down your development. So, but John's worked really hard to get himself back, and I think he's getting close to that point.
Do you expect to have Collins or Holcomb
I
on
do.
Saturday?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Season hasn't exactly gone according to plan, but the way you guys have played in the last three games, do you guys feel like you really bring a lot of momentum into this one?
I think we've what our team has done. Under the circumstances, have played extremely hard. I think we're starting to make fewer mistakes. I think a lot of the young guys that are playing are making fewer mistakes, and we're able to overcome the ones that we are, and so we're playing better as a football team right now. And I do like the way we're playing at this point, going into this last game, yes.
When you look at them defensively, how much time do you spend game planning on Bradley Chubb specifically?
Well, he's not the only one they got up there. They start 9 seniors on their defense. And, he's probably the leader of that group. I think he's got 10 sacks on the year and plays extremely hard, as well as the other defensive linemen and linebackers and all the secondary. They're a very strong defense. And so, but, you've got to make sure you know where he's at, and you got to, your tackles, there's not a time where they can take a play off or relax, because if they do, he's going to make you look really bad.
Nathan Elliott had 4 first half touchdowns last game. When you looked at the tape, why was he able to be so successful?
Well, he just, I thought the plan was really good, and we were able to take advantage of some things that they were doing, and I thought he executed the plan, and he threw the ball really well the other day. He was comfortable throwing it, and he threw it really well.
Have you decided whether he'll be your starter for Saturday?
We're doing it just like we do every week. And so, he obviously has the edge because he's been the starter the last couple of weeks and has had success. And so, but they'll still compete this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
He said he had a lot to work on. He wasn't happy with some things he did in the game against Western Carolina. What did you see on things he can really grow and improve on?
Well, he can still. There's a lot of things. Just in, when you. Don't. Nobody should think that Nathan has arrived. And because he doesn't think that. He knows that he can get a lot better. He can get a lot better in his decision-making process, his anticipation, his coverage recognition, pre-snap, post-snap. There's a lot of things, but he is getting better. in each of those, in each of those areas. And so he's gonna continue to grow. I think what's happening right now is he's gaining confidence with every play that he's out there, and that he does good. And so he's gaining confidence, and therefore the team's gaining confidence also.
Was he not ready in his preparation to start earlier?
Was he not ready in his preparation? He was prepared. I mean, he's Nathan. There's never been a doubt in my mind that Nathan has prepared himself to play and to be the starter, and he's known whenever his number was called. I could assure you he would be prepared, that he wouldn't go out there and not know what to do. And I mean, that's one thing about that kid. He's going to be prepared. He spends the time.
It seems like the past 6 weeks or so, Malik Carney's been especially more productive in the game, the backfield, and everything. Just like, what's that going to change for him from the start of the season, if anything?
Well, I mean, if you go back and look, I mean, he was the most productive one early in the season too. I mean, I would say the thing that's been really good about Scoop is he's been so, methodical. And I mean, he's going to make plays and he's going to be productive in the game, and he's done it every single week. Some a little bit better than others, but when you go back and really look at it, it's week in and week out. He's been consistent on making plays for us, and I mean, that's the thing. He's got a lot of confidence. He knows he can make plays, and he expects that of himself.
What do you see from the offensive line? You had over 300 yards rushing against Western Carolina. How they improved in the last couple weeks?
I thought they did a good job communicating. They got their hats on the people they were supposed to, and they blocked through the whistle. I mean, and so if you do that alone, that gives you a chance. And so I just thought overall their communication has gotten better each and every week, and they're more comfortable in what they're doing.
Has to help without as many injuries along that line.
No doubt. No doubt.
I don't know if this is giving away too much, but are there any areas in particular that you can speak on that you think you can attack NC State with offensively, defensively? Is that giving away too much? I don't know.
That would be giving away too much.
Can you put it in a way that's not giving away too much?
We need to take advantage of whatever they decide to give us, if that helps.
Devin Perry, Josh Cabrera, and Danilo were honored in senior day as 4-year players. What goes in that decision making? Because obviously they have one more year of eligibility.
Yeah,
is that between you, between your families, with them?
It's really more for them. I mean, I mean, each one of those guys is going to graduate and is ready to move on with their career. It's not something that we talked about. It's something that, as the season goes on, we start talking to guys about what their thought process is going to be going forward, and they indicated that this was going to be it for them. So, I mean, that's not something that I question them about or really talk to them about. It's more of a decision that they make along with their families.
It has to be good to see Cabrera get a couple touchdowns in
Yeah,
the last couple weeks.
he's had 3?
He's had 3 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 3 in 2 weeks. That's pretty good.
It's been 5 years now since Gio had his moment out here. What has that moment meant to this program since then? And is it such a huge moment because of who it was against, the same team you're playing this week?
Oh, I mean, it was a culmination of things. I mean, you got, I think, up until that year, we had, it was on a 5-game streak, I think. Is that right? That year? Or 4 games, maybe? I can't remember what it was. Let me turn this off, sorry. And, I think, it was a big game, and we had a great atmosphere, and the way it happened, I can't remember how much time was on the clock. Wasn't much, but it meant a lot. It meant a lot to the program. It was our first year in the program. All those seniors had bought into what we were doing, and once they knew they couldn't go to a bowl, they all stuck in here and decided that they wanted to finish their career here at Carolina. So it was big for the program. And yes, it had a lot to do with who we were playing also. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you're playing a rivalry, and so anytime you win, and especially in that fashion, I mean, it's a big deal.
That's still one of your most favorite moments as a coach?
Probably. I mean, one of my favorite plays, of all time, really. I mean, in that situation, I mean, Quinshad's 4th down catch in Blacksburg. I mean, those kind of things you remember for the rest of your life.
player has Charlie Heck been over these past 3 games? What's been kind of the biggest difference for him?
Yeah, just growing and learning. Just another young guy who's playing a position that he never played before in his life till he got here. And so, it's one of those guys that I talk about when I talk about Newsom and Corrales and, all these young guys that are playing that every rep they're getting is aiding in their development, going to make them that much better down the road. And so Charlie is, again, I think, starting to feel more comfortable in what he's doing, understanding what it takes to be an offensive tackle at this level.
He came in as a tight end. He played tight end in high school. That's probably a better question for Cat. But what goes into identifying a player like that you think can transition to a college offensive tackle or a defensive tackle?
Well, the story, I remember going to when we were recruiting John and going to his house, and Charlie's one of the triplets that they have. And they were all sitting on the couch. I don't know what his age would have been at that time when John was a senior in high school. He was in middle school, I'm guessing. And, we talked, and his dad said, hey, you're going to want to keep an eye on this one. He's probably going to be an outside linebacker or more of a skill type guy, And, then his dad and them eventually ended up going to Kansas City, and he's the offensive line coach out there. So, I wasn't seeing Charlie a lot. Then when we went to go play Notre Dame out there at their place, Andy was at the game. So, going out to do the press conference right after the game, I see Andy. Hey, Andy, how you doing? And I look at this guy next to him. I'm like, is Charlie? And he's like, yes, sir. And, so we got to look at some film, because he's taller than his dad, and his dad's 6'6". So we looked at film. He was playing tight end. He was athletic. He was about 255 pounds at that time. And, we didn't think there was any way he was going to stay 260 pounds. And so, we decided to offer him and bring him in here and grow him into a tackle. And, he's 310 pounds now. And he's got really great feet and, is athletic and he's gonna develop into a really, really good tackle.
Nick, he's another guy who's got a lot more reps just recently. Just kind of like, how is he kind of taking advantage of that? How much closer is he being more consistent?
Yeah, you can say this for every one of these guys that are getting all these reps. Each one of them's getting better, and they are taking advantage of the opportunity because they know. You either take advantage of it or you lose it. And I think Nick's done a really good job. He's gotten better every week. He's he's been consistent, and anytime you're putting 5 guys together and those 5 have to all be on the same page, it's nice to be able to use the same 5. We hadn't been able to do that, but Nick's been really good in that situation.
Coach, this summer you brought in 4 grad transfers, and now you've had kind of a season to assess what have they brought to your team and what are kind of the strengths and weaknesses that you've seen from that process.
Yeah. One thing I can tell you about all 4 of them, and all 4 of them have done a tremendous job fitting into this football team and being a part of this football team, being good teammates. They didn't come in with any kind of attitude. They wanted to come in here and help. And the season didn't go the way they wanted, the way anybody wanted. But they've all stayed positive. They've all continued to work hard. It's been a great experience for us.
Is there any lessons you've learned that you'll take into it as you try to look at that those seasons going forward?
I really think the lesson that I've learned, it's more about the individual and the person, and that you still the character and what kind of person they are is probably just as important as any of it.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, what are you most thankful for?
I'm really most thankful for a healthy family. I've got a healthy wife and children, and I get to come to work every day at the University of North Carolina, and so I've been blessed so many ways. I got a lot to be thankful for. I really do.
All right, thank you, folks. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank y'all.